It was chaotic. It was a lot. I was just completely overwhelmed. I was pulling such late nights. It was affecting like my relationship and my life in general. I was never present. I like was fully following your course. I kept trusting the process and then I found Joanna and I was like, okay, it works. In total, like in the past 7 months, I've saved 388 and a half hours. It is really eye-opening. And now I'm like, oh, like I should have done this like 2 years ago.
Hello, and welcome back to the Shine and Thrive Photography Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Monica. And I don't know about you, but if I can avoid a painful experience simply by learning from somebody else's story, I am there and ready to listen. It's also the reason I'm an open book when it comes to my own challenges and mistakes, because I'm always thinking about how my story can ultimately help someone else avoid what I went through. And that is called what I call silver linings. And today is one of those days where I am so excited to be sharing a story that I know so many photographers need to hear so that they can avoid the same trap too. So, in this week's episode, you're going to meet Nicole, who was doing it all in her photography business. Every single thing, wearing all the hats, doing it all herself. Sound familiar? Until her body literally gave out and she landed in the hospital with burnout. Here are some things that we chatted about and covered in this episode: the series of events and the laundry list of things Nicole was doing in her business that led her to being hospitalized with burnout, and how this experience finally forced her to make a change and start outsourcing. And this is an important thing to note. If you're doing a lot of the same things Nicole mentions in this part, please don't let it get to this point. Take this as a warning sign to get help in your business too. Okay. Um, Another thing we went over, what Nicole's life looks like now, from the changes in her personal life to the improvements in her client experience to raising her prices and doubling her Instagram following and so much more. A step by step breakdown of all the things Nicole now outsources in her business, how much she pays for the support, and how many hours she saves a week on average. Also, yeah, this episode's a goodie. Like, there's so much. The limiting beliefs that Nicole had to overcome to get to this point in her business. Don't miss this part if you struggle with letting go of control, because holy crap, I was there too, and so was Nicole. How Nicole's first experience with a virtual assistant didn't go according to plan, but how that paved the way for an even better relationship with her second VA. So, if you've tried outsourcing before and it didn't go well, this could be why. And how Nicole's desire to have kids one day sped up her decision to outsource, plus my perspective of how becoming a parent changed the way I approach my photography business. And also why you should not wait. This is huge. Why you should not wait until you're in the thick of busy season to get support, and Nicole's final words of advice for anyone thinking about starting to outsource. So, I hope you find this episode as freaking powerful as I did. This is definitely one of those stories you want to immortalize and internalize in your mind so you do not come close to what Nicole had to go through. And to tell you a little bit about Nicole, Nicole is a wedding and lifestyle photographer based in Niagara, Ontario. She started her business during COVID and dove into wedding photography headfirst during the wedding boom. Now she shoots weddings all over Southern Ontario, or the GTA. I can never say that, GTA region, and destination weddings. Nicole is happiest when she books her next vacation, will always say yes to an espresso martini. Oh my God, I love that. I love espresso martinis too. I love a pineapple on pizza. That's my dad. It reminds me of my dad. And she recently took up salsa dancing as a hobby, which she mentions in the episode too. She would also describe herself as a very A-type person and has been a student of mine for 3 years, taking OMI, crystal clear marketing, and intuitive storytelling. So I really appreciate Nicole and her time with her sharing her real and true story here to just be of help to others and impact others. And before we officially get started on the episode, I want to also mention that I have a free limited time resource so that you can have the step by step action plan to put these protective measures in place in your business, starting with the return of my once yearly free live masterclass. So, in this masterclass, you're going to learn the 4 secrets to becoming a time and income abundant photographer. And in this hyper actionable 1 hour class, you'll learn the 4 secrets that have allowed me and hundreds of my students to work part time hours while still making a full time income doing what we love as photographers, AKA goodbye burnout for freaking ever. So, to register for the class, click the link in my show notes, or you can also just go to my Instagram, Sarah Monica Photo. That's Sarah no H, Monica with a K, and literally just DM me the word masterclass, and that's all one word, masterclass. Or you can DM me the word secrets, whichever one you prefer, and you'll get the registration link sent to you right away on the spot, and you can just go ahead and grab your spot. And in case you are an OG listener and you joined this class before, here's a quick rundown of why you should join or why you should join again this year. So each year, I refresh and improve this class with the most up to date industry stats, transparent numbers for my own business, and the working right now pricing guidance. So you know exactly how much outsourcing will be costing you. And by the way, this is the most exciting masterclass I've ever hosted because outsourcing is the most affordable it's ever been. And I will be sharing how I cut my outsourcing editing costs down by 2/3. So this is a big one. And I'm just so excited. Anyone that has been to these classes before, your mind was blown. I already know that. I have so many testimonials from those classes, but now get ready to have your mind blown again and even more. I'm also going to be sharing a brand new 3 step outsourcing framework, which is going to blow your mind as well. And this is one of the only ways to also get free live coaching from me. So I always leave time at the very end after class to troubleshoot your biggest questions and challenges. I honestly stay as long as people have questions. So it's pretty amazing. And you'll also get to connect with like minded photographers from all over the world who understand exactly what you're going through, which we all need more of in our lives. And just remember, you can't get that with a replay. So join live if you can. But if you cannot, for some reason, any reason, like join live for sure, you cannot, then sign up anyway, grab a spot because I'll be sending you a replay. So it's better to watch the replay and still learn everything and then not get anything at all. Okay. And lastly, our brains love repetition. So if you joined the masterclass before, join again because our brains love repetition. Even if you're an OMI student, like jump on that. We can never get enough, especially with all of the, you know, deep beliefs and like limiting beliefs that are trapped in our subconscious mind from like societal programming. Like I still need continuous like refreshers and meditations on this stuff. So if you love this class before, but you know, want a refresh or you're an OMI student, like literally sign up as well. Everybody is welcome. So yeah, before we get into the episode, final share, click the link into the show notes. And also you can DM me at Sarah Monica Photo. That's Sarah no H, Monica with a K. DM me just the word masterclass or the word secrets, and you'll get the registration link sent to you right away. Awesome. I can't wait to connect with you in there and enjoy this episode. Okay, Nicole, I am so excited to have you on the podcast. We're going to dive into so many juicy details, and I know you are an open book. So that makes me even more excited because if you know me, you know I don't like small talk. I like going in deep and like talking about all things like an open book because that's the only way that we can actually help people more deeply. Other people can resonate, not feel so alone in whatever they're going through. And so, yeah, welcome to the podcast, and I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited.
Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, you're a big reason why I'm an open book. I feel like just like listening to your podcast and taking a lot of your courses, like hearing you talk openly about numbers, I was like, that obviously helped me a lot in my growth over the last 3 years. So now, like, I try to be an open book to help someone else because like you really helped me and there's a few others that also really helped me do that. But it's definitely I don't think it's scary to talk about numbers. I think it's like eye-opening.
Oh, that means a lot. Oh my gosh. Because like I do that on purpose throughout the
Yeah.
podcast. And sometimes it's just, yeah, it could be you have to get out of your comfort zone to share. But so the fact that you're telling me that, I'm like, okay, that makes me so happy because
Yeah.
sometimes we don't know the impact that we're making. And just hearing that from you makes me so happy. So
That's
thank
been
you.
so helpful. So of course.
Yay. Okay, so let's dive in, just chatting for a couple minutes, so everybody can get to know you a little bit. Like, what kind of a photographer are you? What kind of photography do you love doing? And what are some like random things that you love about life?
About life. Okay. So I've been in photography for 4 years. So I started my business when COVID hit. And
Wow.
kind of I was never the person, I never thought I'd be a photographer. That was not really in the plan. I went to school for TV and film, graduated the year COVID hit, and in my last semester of school, I had to write a project on like if I was to start a business, what would it be? I did not have any time to write it. So I bullshit some photography presentation. I was like, I'll be a photographer. It's easy. And then COVID
No.
hit and I was bored at home and I was like, that's not a bad idea. I was like, that's super easy. Obviously, it's not.
I know.
I was like, I need a camera. That's fine. And I sat down during COVID and I fully taught myself photography. I started as a newborn photographer, and um, then I realized photography is more than just obviously taking pictures. There's a lot more to it. But then I got into family, which got me into couples, and then I got into weddings, kind of when the wedding boom happened right after COVID. And so I am a lifestyle photographer. I still do maternity, newborn, a little bit of family, boudoir, engagements, all that, but I love weddings and I'm mostly a wedding photographer. And I've even gone into the destination realm a little bit and I love my destination weddings. So that's kind of the short version of how I got here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll go anywhere. I'm Niagara, Hamilton, Burlington, a little bit of Toronto, and then I'm trying to get more into like the cottage, like
Yeah.
Muskoka area. And what I love about life, I'm a big traveler. I love traveling. I spent a month in Bali and Thailand last year with my best friend, who's also a photographer. I was in Portugal last month. I was in New York a couple days ago. And then what else do I love? I got into salsa and bachata this year, like dancing
Ooh,
with my mom,
fun.
and I'm obsessed. Um, my personality, I can't do anything like half-assed or like just for fun. So now I'm in a competition in October.
No way. Shut the hell up.
Like I was telling my boyfriend, I was like, yeah, we're just doing this for fun on like Mondays, and now I'm dancing like 4 days a week. And I was like, so I have a competition in October if you want to come.
Oh
So
my gosh.
I'm
I can
doing
totally
that.
relate to you on that. Like I'm like, "Oh yeah, there's something about like something so fun about striving for like excellence in
Yeah,
different things and even hobbies, but like it could also come at like that pressure cost. Like why do we put this fucking pressure on
yeah.
ourselves?"
And I do love it, and it is my hobby, but it
Yeah.
was actually my way to get away from photography because like I am
Hmm.
just like a workaholic and I will work myself like a lot, like really
Yeah.
hard. So I was like, this is like my fun outlet, and it still is, but I now I do it 4 days a week on top of
Oh
photography.
my gosh.
Um, but yeah, I do that. And then what else do I do? I travel, I dance, I work a lot. I just like I'm not really I'm very extroverted. So
Hmm.
I'm always keeping myself busy and
Oh my
fun.
gosh, that's amazing. And it's so funny that you mentioned what's it called? Oh yeah, because you emailed me and you're like, Sarah, actually my flight got canceled like on your way back from New York. And I
Yeah.
love what you wrote in the email. It was just a quick one line. You're like, holy crap, like I would have that would have stressed me out like some time ago. But because I know I have things being taken care of by my virtual assistant, by other people, it's like, oh, okay, an extra day.
Yeah. Yeah, like and it was technically an extra 2 days because I my flight got canceled Sunday morning
Mhm.
to come back home. And then they couldn't get us on another flight until 10 p.m. Monday. So we basically had Sunday and Monday
Oh my
in New
gosh.
York. And I was like, okay. My boyfriend was like, you're not calm ever. Like, why are you calm? And I was like, it'll be fine. We'll make the most out of it. Like things will be taken care of. I'm good.
That's
And
amazing. I have the same story. I wonder if they're still recovering from that like tech issue they had with flights because Rory and I's flight from Europe was canceled on our way back home.
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah, and it was like the second flight. So we had our luggage that was
Oh,
connecting, and then
no.
our luggage got
Yeah.
lost in the shuffle. Thankfully, we have it freaking back. Holy shit. That was I'm recording a whole nother podcast episode about the attachment, what lessons I've learned from that. I
Yeah.
think that episode is already out by the time
You have
everyone's
your
listening to
baby
this
with you too?
episode.
And you
No, no,
lost your
no. It was just Rory and I, but it was on the way back home. So it's not
Okay.
like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But our flight got canceled, and it was the same kind of thing of like just that feeling of like, but really, what's really going wrong? That's why now, with all these like cancellations I'm hearing about, I'm like, destination weddings, you guys, if you're shooting a destination wedding, please leave minimum 2 days before the
Oh,
wedding.
yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Well, I know a lot of resorts now won't even let them get married until they're at the resort for 2 days. Or at
oh,
least
that
with my
makes
friends.
sense.
My couples have all told me, like, they're not allowed to get married on, like, the Monday. Let's say they have to get married on the Wednesday because they're flying in Monday or Sunday.
Yeah, that makes a
So
lot of
yeah,
sense for
and I
logistics.
always get on the flight with the bride and groom. So, like, if they're missing the flight or if I'm on the
Oh,
flight, they're missing the
smart.
flight. Like, I don't take another flight, I go with them. So
Yeah.
that way, if they're not getting there, I'm in the same boat, and then yeah.
You mean the same plane? I'm joking.
Yeah, same plane.
I'm joking.
Yeah, we're all in it together, so and I've never knock on wood, I've never had an
Yeah.
issue with that yet,
It's
but
so funny. The ambivert in me is like, no, I don't want to be on the same flight as them. That means I have to talk to someone, be on my own in my own little world, like look out the window and
yeah,
like
or see, then
journal.
I'm like, "Let's make friends with everyone," like, "Hey,"
Yeah.
like it's funny, it's mostly been I become friends with some of my clients,
Yeah,
and actually my destination ones specifically because you spend so much time
totally.
with them, that, like, the one couple, I now end up at, like, their Sunday family dinners, like, my boyfriend and I, like, we get
No way.
yeah,
Oh,
and,
that's
like, the
amazing.
family barbecue's the mom's birthday, so
Yeah, I love destination weddings for that reason, for
oh, they're
sure.
so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Okay,
best.
well, that was a fun way to start this episode. I feel like we could just keep talking about life.
Yeah,
Let's make this a
absolutely.
two-parter. First part, let's just talk about life, being a
Yeah.
photographer, life, and then
People are
so
like, "What's the lesson here?"
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so let's dive into all of this incredible like transformation goodness from like the how you experienced shift in your life and business thanks to
Yeah.
outsourcing and outsourcing made easy. And so before we get dive into like what you're outsourcing, how much you're investing in it, um, how it's helping you in your life and business, let's just like rewind the clock a bit first and
Mhm.
paint us a picture of how life and business was for you before you even started outsourcing. Like what
Yeah.
did that look like?
It was chaotic. It was a lot. Like I said, I'm a workaholic. And I'm very type A, so I feel like I need to be in control of everything, and that's still something I'm working on to this day. But I was doing everything. My personality is like, I need to be the best of the best. So I wasn't like half-assing anything. I was
Mm,
like, I need to do this. I need to send these emails. I need to like be the best for every single client. But you obviously can't do that when you're burning out. Um,
mhm.
so I was just completely overwhelmed. I was pulling such late nights. I was answering DMs all hours of the night, which is something I don't do anymore. Um, and it was affecting like my relationship and like my life in general with my friends. Like I was never present. I was always stressed out. Even if like my boyfriend and I would like go to dinner, I was like, he's like, stop thinking about work.
Mhm.
I was like, well, I have to answer this person. So it was just really chaotic. I didn't know how to say no. So I wasn't even giving myself boundaries of like how many sessions to take on in a month. Um, in October last year, I did 31 sessions in October, and there's 31 days, and that included
Oof.
weddings. There was days I had, like, 2 sessions in a day, um, plus I was doing all my own editing. I was doing everything myself, and eventually, because I think that went on for, like, a couple of years, my body, like, gave out, and it was November 4th. It was the day of my Christmas minis, that morning, and I just woke up, and I kept passing out, and, like, my boyfriend had to call 911. I woke up, like, on my kitchen floor, and there was really like, I ended up getting a bunch of tests done afterwards, obviously. There was nothing wrong other than they were like, "You're just burnt out. Like, you just your body's
Wow.
done." Because yeah, I had to do a bunch of, like, heart what do you call it? Like appointments and stuff,
Mhm.
tests, and they were like, "Yeah, there's nothing actually wrong with you. It
Thank
was
goodness.
body." Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like your body was just done. Like, and I was like, that was my big wake up call to be like, "Okay, yeah, we need to start taking care of yourself." Because also, what's the point in making all that money if like you're not enjoying life at all. Like I was just
Yeah.
constantly stressed.
Wow. It's so, thank you for sharing that. Like I've never had a physical breakdown
Mhm.
in like through burnout, but of course I feel like the more common ones are the emotional
Yeah.
breakdowns, the and emotional meaning crying, feeling like you just can't keep going, helpless, but also even taking out our frustrations on our loved ones,
Yeah.
having a short fuse, like things like that, right? So I feel like I hear those being more common, but then to hear your body physically was like, Nicole, you're not listening, you're not listening, you're not listening to the signs. Like we're literally just gonna like have you drop to the floor
Yeah.
and pass
And I mean,
out.
I still
Like,
didn't listen because the paramedics were like, "Do you want to go to the hospital?" And I was like, "I have Christmas minis in 2 hours. Like, you guys
oh my
get out." I
gosh.
did my minis all day.
Did
Um,
you do the minis? Because of course,
yeah,
because you feel, of course, we have a
yeah.
responsibility and like that's I understand, but like you were able to do it.
I was able to do it, and then I had to get on a plane 24 hours later for a destination wedding. So I was like,
Holy,
"We're gonna deal with this when I get back." Like I was like, "We're
right.
gonna go through for another week, and then we're gonna
Yeah.
deal with it." And then I did because that was my last wedding of the season, and I was like, "Okay, big wake up call. Like we're gonna
And
get."
that moment when you actually told yourself, we're going to deal with this when I get back, did that feel true for you? Like in that moment, you're like, oh, okay, I'm
Yeah.
actually going to deal with this. I'm not just going to say this for now. Like it was different, right?
Yeah, I think I definitely because like I think before, I mean, I did have my VA at that time. Like she was doing some stuff for me, but I was still
Hmm.
doing a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, and I think I've always kind of been like, well, she's taking care of stuff. Like I am getting help. Like it's fine. And clearly I wasn't. And then yeah, like when this time happened, I was like, "Can no, like we're gonna actually deal with this because like otherwise like my business is gonna crash and burn if I
Mhm.
can't be the best version of me. And like what am I doing for my clients if like I'm sitting there like not really functioning?"
Yeah. And so I'm actually curious, what was that like sneaky back thought in your either subconscious mind that you might not have been aware of because the way you mentioned like I had a VA, like she was helping me, right? But it's kind of like you were still in your comfort zone and still tricking yourself that, oh no, I'm supported, I'm good, right? Like what do you think was a thought that was holding you back from actually taking it a step further with how supported you were in your business?
Like, and like getting more help?
Yeah, at
Yeah.
that time. Yeah.
I think I still needed more control. I still wanted
Mm.
to like I was giving her some tasks to do, but other stuff that like now I have my mom helping me out with and stuff, just stuff like I kind of wanted someone here to be doing.
Yeah.
That's what was stopping me from giving stuff to her. Like there just was some stuff like my mom sends out now, like my client gifts, my thank you cards, like stuff that like I just want done here. I
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
giving it to her. So I
Yeah,
was
of
just
course.
like, I'm being supported, but like I needed more help.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Got it. And so I'm like, which direction can we take this now? So maybe just give us, we're going to dive into this, obviously, into your numbers and how
Yeah.
supported you are, but maybe just in a general sense, how does life and business feel like for you now? Like this year, this season. Now show us the contrast of like what it feels like for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much better. Like I don't feel like I'm taking a back seat. Like I'm still busy. I'm still working every day. I'm doing admin work. I think my life will be a bit different in like 2 weeks because I just hired an editor
Oh
from in
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
Yeah.
literally 5 days ago. So up until like 5 days ago, I have still been doing a lot of my own editing, which
Yeah.
obviously takes a lot of time. So I definitely feel a lot more supported and I feel like I can handle it. But yeah, I hired that editor because I was like, okay, wait, we're kind of starting to drown and like I'm getting a little
Mhm.
stressed and like we're not going to do this again. So if you talk to me in 2 weeks, I'll probably be even better. Um,
Yeah.
but just business in general has been way better. I feel like I have a stronger relationship with my clients because like I'm just able to like get to know them better. I now set up like thank you cards as soon as they book me. And that's something like my mom sends out um,
Mhm.
for me, which was funny because someone was like, "You have such nice handwriting." I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Not me."
Yeah.
um, and then like at their engagement session, I give them like a whole client gift that I've set up, and like I've made like a whole wedding guide for them with a candle and matches that
That's
say like
amazing.
match, like little things like that that I've been able to do that I wasn't able to do before, just like make me feel like I've elevated my business more.
Yeah.
Also justifies like why I've raised my prices because I'm able to give just a so much better client
Mhm.
experience. Um, what else has been it's just been, like, I'm able to do more. I feel like I don't mind, like I don't mind going out for dates, but, like, I don't stress about, like, when my boyfriend's like, "Let's go out tonight," or "Let's do something," and I make more plans to hang out with friends. I've this summer, and we're in wedding season, I've gone to Portugal for 10 days, and then I was at the cottage for 5 days, and I was in New York for well, it was supposed to be 3.5, but it was
Yeah,
5.
yeah.
So I feel like I've actually been living my life still, even though it's the crazy busy season.
And dancing.
And dancing,
And
and then
dancing.
I've taken a little bit of a break from reels right now, but that was
Uh-huh.
something too, that was a huge goal of mine was to start reels, like, kinda right before busy season started,
Yeah.
um, and I doubled my following in 2 months. So I went from 3,000 to 6,000 followers in 2 months because reels, I really realized were, like they were working for me, and I was seeing
Yeah.
the difference in my business there, and it's because I had the time to film them, and
Mhm.
create really good content. So as soon as I kinda have that whole editor work in, that's my goal to go back to reels.
Amazing. So, in general, would you say you just have more time and energetic capacity for the things that excite you the most in your business that you've always wanted to implement and to just like grow it in the direction that is aligned with you and you've dreamed of, but maybe before you felt chaotic, scattered, there's
Yeah,
not enough hours in a day, there's not enough energy for in my
yeah,
body. Yeah.
absolutely, and I think the little things make a difference, like, just sending those thank you cards, like, I constantly get messages from people being like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, like, you did not need to send that, like, thank you so much, like, this means the world," and then I give them the gift at the engagement session, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's the photographer that just keeps giving," and, like, it's
That's
nice
cute.
when people, like, feel that way, and they feel like I want them to think, "You're paying me a lot of money and, like, all that, like, I wanna give you guys a good experience, and I wanna show you I care, and you're not just, like, another number."
Yeah.
And I think people appreciate that because, like, then they tell their friends about you, and then you get the bridesmaids when they get married, and people just feel taken care of, and that's something that's a really big deal to me, and I've had
Mhm.
a lot of brides tell me and grooms, but brides, they're like, "Oh my god, like, you answer so quick, like, you're the only vendor I can ever get a hold of," and I'm like, "That goes a long way." Like, people
Yes.
talk about that, so that's really important to me.
That's incredible. And yeah, that's the whole part. One of the strongest ways to market your business is literally create evangelists, like serve who you already have, and they can't help but talk about you to
Yeah,
everyone, like rave about you. Like I literally we just got back from Tomorrowland, Rory and I, a couple
yeah,
weeks ago. And that, if you want to talk about execution of the most incredible, detailed experience every step of the way, from eat to even the bathrooms to even the garbages, like that those types of details, it's like I come back home and I can't shut up about it. It's like it was a
yeah,
12 out of 10 experience. 12, you have to go, you have to go. Like
and then someone's gonna go that you told.
exactly. And when we create our client, like you just said, and guess what? When we create really strong word of mouth marketing and we have the capacity to do that, then marketing our business becomes so much more easy. We don't have to stress about the algorithm constantly changing, you know.
Yep,
Marketing can end up being fun,
yeah,
right? And
absolutely,
there's
I think
something to be said about like the 80/20 rule. So when you talk about these little things, like these little gifts that you have the time and energy for now, and all these little like amazing surprise points, that's 20% of the work, let's say even smaller. Obviously, it's like 1% really of your time,
yep,
but it creates 80% of the results in the
yeah.
future, in the long run. So instead of you sitting there, you know, doing all the things your virtual assistant is doing, you're actually doing these bigger things that actually create the real growth in your business.
Yeah, and it's so cool too to do weddings where, like, a lot of the guests are, like, past brides or, like, whoever, 'cause,
Yeah.
it's so cool to, like, be in the circle, and then everyone's like, "Oh, we
Yeah.
know her, like, she shot, like, so and so's wedding," and whatever, and then you feel like yeah, you feel included in the family because 'cause you're I've done a bunch of siblings, like,
Yeah.
sibling weddings and stuff, um and it's cool to be, like, included in that, and it's because people are recommending you constantly because you're giving a good experience, and that's, like, my goal over anything, is just to, like, give them a good experience at the end of the day, from, like,
That's
beginning to
amazing. While at the same time, you have an amazing life experience, right?
yeah,
Because, like you said in the beginning, it's not worth it. It's not worth it making all this money or even doing what we love if it literally burns our bodies, our minds, our souls out. Like that, then we're not actually living. We might as well just be dead.
Yeah,
because
and
what the
like I
fuck is the
remember
point?
exactly, and I've never in these 4 years thought like I hate what I'm doing or I don't like my job. Like I've always said like I love my job, I love what I do. But I remember last year my boyfriend was like, "You don't even like what you're doing." Like he's like, "You don't sound like you enjoy work." And I was like, "No, like I love it." And he's like, "You're miserable constantly." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, and so I was like, "Okay, maybe," and I was just stressed and tired, but that's all he was seeing. And
Yeah.
he and I was like, "Ok," that was another wake up call where I was like, "Okay, I need to figure this out," because like obviously the closest people around me are thinking like I hate my job when I really don't. I'm
Yeah.
burnt out.
Yeah, makes sense. And as our businesses grow, they need different things from us. So, like, what got you to a certain point in your
Mhm.
business to where you were doing everything yourself? That was working for you until a certain point. And then, if you guys are having signs of like, there's just too not enough hours in a day, I just can't handle all of this. That's a good thing. That means your
Yeah.
business has grown to another level, and now you just need you. It's a relationship. You need to give your business something different for it to continue to evolve and for you to also continue to evolve. So, and the fact that you're able to do this so quickly and start it in the pandemic, I'm just like, I bow down to you. Like,
Thank you. No, honestly, I've taken all
amazing.
your courses. Like I did your marketing course. I did the wedding one, the
Intuitive storytelling. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then your outsourcing. And I feel like yeah, I've grown my little business like with those
Uh,
courses. I
that's
remember sitting
fun.
in my room crying during I think the marketing course, like when same time frame I was taking that, not while I was watching it. But
Yeah.
I was like, I can't like I'm not booking. Like why like I feel like I'm failing. And then now like I'm booked out months in advance. I'm booked out fully for 2025 wedding season. Like it's like I've grown um over the past 2 years and like I started at a point when I was crying because I couldn't find clients. And
Oh,
obviously I had to like do certain things in my business to start getting clients and all of that and that worked, but that's not going to be the same stuff that's going to sustain me now. I have to do a lot more now to like
hmm.
keep my business growing because my business has just grown a lot in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. I just got chills when you said, here I am now, fully booked out already for 2025, which is incredible, especially for just the like kind of like nature of the industry right now. The kind of like weather of the industry, if you would say,
Yeah,
because there's always ups and downs, everyone's experiencing it differently. But
yeah,
the fact that yeah, it is a testament to when you prioritize and are able to find the time and make the time through outsourcing to then focus on marketing your business. That's what happens. Even in a lower quote unquote economy,
yeah.
you're able to do that. So that's incredible. And the fact I love that you shared that just a handful of years ago, you're just sitting there crying, being like, I don't know how I'm going to get bookings. And then this is where you are now. Like, there is literally someone listening to this that is feeling like, how am I even going to get started with getting bookings? And so you sharing that is just giving them so much hope. I could feel it in my bones right now. So that you're
And
such an
even like
inspiration.
20, thank you. And even 2024, like I don't want anyone hearing this being like, oh my God, I'm not booked out in 2025. Like, what's wrong with me? Like last year, I was like, I think at this in August, I was like, oh my God, my 2024 is not booked. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I was stressing and then like I got booked out. Like it just
Yes.
found like last year was weird. And a lot of people were booking like in 2024 for
Yeah,
2024.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everyone's just like every season's different, and like
Yeah.
my boyfriend kind of had to be like, stop panicking, like you're gonna get it, like it's gonna come. So like just because you're not booked out now for 2025 doesn't mean you're not gonna be. We still have months to go.
Yes, so many. Like you have so much time. I love that you mentioned that because even at the start of this year, if you guys were listening to my podcast episodes this year, at the start of 2024, I had 4 weddings booked for the year. And that's just because I was kind of at a crossroads of like getting clarity where I'm heading in my
Yeah,
business. And I realized I'm like, fuck, no, I still fucking love weddings. Like I want more weddings this year. I decided. And then I ended up with 16 weddings so far,
yeah,
like
which
this
is
year. And it's like I started with 4 at the start of the year, and then I ended
yeah,
up booking 12 more. So you guys, there is always a way. Don't give up on yourself. I love that you shared that. Okay, so let's get into your, I would say, give us an overview what you outsource. So like who are the people that are supporting you? So
right.
let us know that first, and
Yeah.
then what do they help you with?
Well, I have my little list because I was
Perfect.
gonna forget.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
okay, so I have Joanna, who's my virtual assistant in the Philippines. So she does a lot of like my little admin work, my blog writing. She does like reel ideas for TikTok. Like she'll go on TikTok, she'll be like, hey, here's the trends, this is what you should do.
Nice.
She calls my sessions, so not my weddings, but my sessions. Um, Website maintenance. She does my documents. So actually that's something I learned from you, the wedding day document with like
Hmm.
that whole like names,
The cheat
everything.
sheets. Yeah.
She creates those for me. So I just send her when they answer the questionnaire, she does that. Uh, and she posts on like my Insta stories, like she'll post highlights of like every session or wedding. So all that stuff she does. And then I have my mom and my sister both kind of working for me right now. They're kind of one person because
Yeah.
basically it was my mom working for me because I'm the oldest of four and like all the kids moved out. So she was bored and she's like, I need something to do. And I was like, I need help. So I
Yeah.
was like, here's something to do. And then my sister came home from school and she's like, I need money. Like she's like,
Yeah.
I need next. So my mom was kind of like, give her some of my tasks. So they kind of just both do stuff for me right now.
Okay.
Um, but my sister like when I say she organizes my hard drive, so like she'll just like take all the raws and everything, and the catalogs and like maybe she'll do like the new I call it new raws. So she'll just take
Hmm.
the top 20 photos or 30, save those, delete everything else, just so my hard drives are constantly like being
Yeah.
cleaned. And
You mean the top, you mean you keep the raws that you of the photos you delivered, but get rid of all of the
yes.
non-delivered. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
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 She calls my weddings, which I know some people might be like, why do you have two people culling? I just found my sister was a lot stronger at it. I don't know why. Like my VA was fantastic with sessions, but it's like
Yeah.
something wasn't, even though I had a whole like cheat sheet formula, like I had it down to like a science for weddings, it just
Yeah.
something wasn't clicking. And then my sister got it in like a second. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, easier. Let's just do that.
Amazing. Yeah.
Um, and then my mom, she like approves all the documents, like the cheat sheets, like everything Joanna
Oh,
does,
nice.
instead of me having to like just approve it quick and everything. My mom just like approves it. She approves the blogs, just
Oh,
everything. And my mom literally is me. So I like fully trust her. Like I'm just like, yeah, you're good. My mom was like a
yeah.
teacher before. Like I'm like, you're good there. She sends the thank you cards and then she organizes all my like client gifts, like the engagement session gifts and stuff I give out to my wedding couples. And then oh, my sister also, because she wanted more hours, and she's like, and she knows I suck at eating properly, like when I'm stressed and busy. So she was like, "Why don't I meal prep for you?" And I was like, "Down, go for it." So she
Genius.
my breakfast, lunches, and dinners throughout like for the week, and it's actually saving me money because like and I'm bad for like grocery shopping and then not using stuff and it getting
And then
old.
Uber Eats or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, which gets a
Um,
lot. Just
yeah,
yeah.
and then just like food getting bad in my fridge. So like, but she'll
Yeah.
take like the stuff I might not think about using and she'll make all new meals out of it. So I'm actually saving money even grocery shopping. And a lot of times she'll go grocery shop for me and
Yes, Nicole. This is keep going,
I'll
keep
pay
going. This is
her
amazing.
like the $20 an hour if it takes her an hour to go grocery shopping. I'll pay her that 20 bucks and some people
Yeah.
might be like, but that's just an extra 20 bucks. I'm like, yeah, but I'm buying less food because she's taking stuff out of my fridge that would go bad and like using it. So it's actually saving me a lot of money there.
And
Um,
in that time, in that hour, you could be shooting another session, which you make
exactly.
so much more money, or you could be creating a reel, or
Yeah.
like,
So
yeah,
it's been such a time saver and like I don't love cooking. So I'm just like make my meals for me. If it's in the fridge and ready, I will eat it. But if
yeah.
nothing's ready, I'll skip lunch. And then you
Me and
get
you are the exact same there. Yep.
yeah, and then you get cranky and then you're not working as well because like you have a headache because you're hungry but you're not eating. So that's my cycle. So
Yeah,
she does that for me. And any like random little task. Like the other day I was like, I need my guest room cleaned. Like, can you go clean it out? And she's like, I'm down. So
that's
she's a little
amazing.
bit yeah. And then I also hired a house cleaner. So she comes once a week for like 2 hours at a time. And yeah, she cleans my house for me and she's fantastic. I love her. She's like my second grandma. And
Aw.
yeah, that's I don't love cleaning toilets and stuff, so I have her doing that.
Yeah. So yeah, because you're like, oh, I just have her help me with the things I really, really, really hate
Yeah.
about house cleaning. So what are some of those things?
Like she'll just do the deep clean of everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like mop the floors and like get in like all the corners. She does the bathrooms. Like obviously like I still do all the laundry and like I can wipe down a countertop, but she's just
Yeah.
like doing all this stuff that like you don't really want to do all the time.
Yeah, that gets procrastinated, and then you're like, oh, damn, it's getting
It
kind
looks
of
bad.
crusty.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
just know it's happening like every Thursday. I know she's coming for 2 hours. Um, and it's great. It's something else I don't have to worry about. And like it's $70 a week. And sometimes my boyfriend will split that with me.
Yeah.
the way we do bills. So it's not even that much for me all the time. And it's
Yeah.
like super helpful because we both run our own businesses. So we're both like super busy all the time. So it's nice.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you just
I have a
blew me
lot.
away. You blew me away with everything. And like I could just even just hearing you guys, I don't know if you those of you listening had the same reaction. You know, when she's like listing off all the things I need to get done and that she was getting help with, it's like just thinking about me doing all those things feels like a
Yeah.
lot. And it's like you just offloaded that. And like it's like you used to do that.
Yeah, I
And
know. I
it
look at what I used to do and I'm like, and because I'm still doing stuff. It's not like I'm
yeah.
sitting back, like doing
No,
nothing.
of course. Yeah.
Like I'm still doing a lot. And I'm like, oh my God, how did I do all that on top? Like, no shit, I burned out.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a perfect segue into how much time you've saved so far this
Yeah.
year. And you guys, Nicole, she sent me a spreadsheet, the most pretty freaking pastel color spreadsheet, all perfectly organized, how many hours she saved from whom, like whoever's supporting her, her VA, her mom, and how much she invested to get that time back.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're the best person to like break this down. Like I would say tell us maybe okay, for each person, how many hours you've saved so far this year. So we're recording this. It's August 7th, 2024. So Nicole's gonna let us know the numbers from January until end of July, pretty much.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, let us know how much we're gonna start with time, how much time each person saves you.
So for each person. So for my
Yeah.
VA, for Joanna, since January, she has saved me 260 hours. And then
260 hours. Wait, I'm gonna whip out the calculator because like this is the moment where I feel like we need to slow down a little because when people are listening to a podcast, you're hearing the numbers and you need time for them to register. So like, okay, I'm just gonna divide 260 hours divided by 7 months. So that's 37 hours of your life saved a month.
yeah, a month.
That's
Um,
incredible.
and then my mom and my sister, they both started in May. So I didn't have
Mhm.
them like the whole year.
Mhm.
But my mom, she has saved me 33 hours in the 3 months.
Yeah.
Uh, my sister, 39 and a half hours roughly, in 3 months. And then my house cleaner is 56 hours in the past 7 months of
Oh my
cleaning.
gosh. That's 56 hours of your life not cleaning toilets and floors and
Yeah.
right? Like, why would we want to spend 56 hours of our life doing that?
I mean, I probably
Right.
wouldn't spend that much, but then my house would be empty because I
Yeah.
wouldn't do it properly. So in total, like in the past 7 months, I've saved 388 and a half hours in 7 months.
388 and a half. Okay, let's split that up into 7 months. So 388.5 divided by 7 months. That's, oh, 555, angel number.
Perfect.
55.5 hours a month saved on
Yeah,
average.
it's crazy to hear.
And divided by 4 weeks. So that's about 14 hours a week. That's two full work days if you're going to have an 8-hour workday
Yeah,
a
which I
week.
do. I
Yeah.
still do 8-hour work days or like a little longer, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Yeah.
like not doing the stuff that you don't want to do. Like that's the
Yeah.
whole point. The whole point of this is to stay in your zone of like happy, genius, energy. Because I don't know about you, Nicole, but I don't, if I work sometimes if I work a 12-hour day, but everything I'm doing gets me so excited, lit up, it's like you don't feel like you're working. It just
Yeah.
feels like I'm living my life how I want to. You know what I mean? So it's like to me, hard work feels like when we have to push and grind and be like, I have to do this task, I have to get this done. It's like, no, like if there is a way for you to like train someone to do it like you, and it's not like you, like for example, if you're a photographer, you probably like don't want to outsource you shooting. Like you could have associates,
I
obviously,
do
but like
have
if
one.
someone wants you for you, like
Yeah.
that's maybe the thing you can't outsource, right? But like so many other things, there's so many other things that if drain you, you can get help
Oh
with.
yeah, absolutely. And like I do love the shooting part of it. So that's something I'm
Mhm.
never gonna like fully give up, obviously. And like that's the
Yeah.
reason I'm a photographer. I do have an associate only like for like she's doing like two weddings for me this year. Like it's kind of just one of those situations when like if I'm already booked for a date, I
Yeah.
offer it. And a lot of people are gonna be like, no, I want you.
Yeah.
I have had two couples take me up on it and like I just ensure they're gonna get the exact same experience, like all that. So I do have one
Yeah.
couple that's helping me out and I love
That's
her.
cool. That's awesome.
She's
And
in the
so
Shine and Thrive. It's Carly
Oh,
Kratzer.
nice. Oh,
Yeah,
Carly. I love
yeah. So she's
Carly.
shooting for me this weekend, actually. I love her.
Oh,
And
that's
I
so
found her in
fun.
your so
Oh, that's amazing. That makes me so happy. And she was on the podcast like way back, like maybe
yeah.
3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. And she was just so, we had a mental health episode and she was just so open with
Yeah,
it. I
she's
just
awesome.
love her. Yeah. Oh my gosh,
Like,
amazing.
yeah, she's perfect. So like, and I fully trust her. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's really important if you're gonna have an associate, I think, is to like
Yes.
know
Yeah.
they're in good hands. But like, yeah, it's great when you find someone and you're just like, okay, cool, you got it. Like, I'll send you the
Yeah.
got it.
Okay, so then let's get into how much you've invested. So for you to get back 388 hours this year, maybe let's break it down, I would say per person again. So just say the total amount of hours they saved you and then how much you invested for each
Yeah.
person, and then we'll do the grand total.
Okay, cool. So I mean, my VA is a little bit different. So she technically is $6 an hour.
Hmm.
However, we had a conversation where she's like, I need to make a minimum of this much per 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we were in slow season, so I was like, just add it on, say slow season, I'll pay you it because like you're worth it. And it was
Hmm.
still way cheaper than hiring someone here. So for 260 hours, it ended up costing me $2,000 just for like the
Hmm.
little hours of like slow season to like keep
Yeah.
her. But
Totally worth it.
I'd rather keep you and pay you like I think it ended up being on average. I think I averaged that out. It was like $12 an hour in the
Yeah.
end out of six,
Yeah.
but still cheaper than 20.
Yeah.
Um,
And guess what? That's your own like that's your decision, your personal decision. What I love to empower my outsourcing made easy students with is like this is how I do it. These are the principles of how you do it, and then you can do whatever feels instinctually right for you. And
yeah,
it's like, yeah, if for you you save time, bandwidth, not having to find someone different and you're like, yeah, I'm just going to tack on for X amount of months this extra amount per
yeah.
hour. I'm good with that. Like, why not? And then you make
She goes
someone's
above and beyond all the time.
yeah.
Like I'm
Why
like
not?
I'll be like, hey, can you just send me like a bunch of real ideas? And then she'll be like, I wrote you scripts too. And I'm
Oh my gosh.
like, okay. So it's so worth it, especially because I did have an experience where I hired a VA before and I wasn't
Mhm.
getting a bare minimum. So to pay someone a little bit extra to do a fantastic job, I'm like, it's so worth it to me. Um,
Yeah.
so I've spent $2,000 in 7 months on her. Um, again, my mom and sister started late in May. They're both $20 an hour. I've paid my mom 660. I've paid my sister 790, and that also includes like meal prepping, grocery shopping, like everything. Uh,
Amazing.
and then my house cleaner, I've paid her 1,960 total. And some of that might be shared with my boyfriend.
For 56 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in total, I in 7 months, I've spent 5,410. And just to put that into perspective for myself, I was like, okay, my 10-hour wedding cost, I mean, I pay a second shooter, but my 10-hour wedding cost 5,500.
Hmm.
So I paid 5,400. So that's basically one wedding for me.
What?
Paid
Yeah.
7 months of work.
Yeah. And okay, and then you mentioned because you're making over 100K for
Mhm.
you, you're just like, firstly, I know that I wouldn't be able to like be booking as much and getting so many referrals if I wasn't getting supported because I would be burnt out and like so it just makes so much sense. And actually, let's divide. So if you invested $5,410 so far in 7 months this year,
Mhm.
to get 388 hours back. I'm going to do the math. So that means that it's costing you on average to get your time back $13.94. And that's under minimum wage because of
Yeah.
course the average of your virtual assistant overseas, which is just the conversion rate on the dollar, why it makes the difference per hourly rate. It brings that average down. So why, guys, why would you not want to get your time back for $14 an hour when you could be marketing and then you could take on another session where you make hundreds more in that
Yeah.
hour? It just logics.
Yeah, it's so much like it is really eye-opening. And I mean, I was the one student probably in your like course and stuff that I was like, yeah, but like I want to be in control. And like, yeah, like I just want to do it all. Like, I don't know how about outsourcing. Like, even though I'm taking this course, like I don't know how I'm gonna do it. And like until you're on the other side, I feel like you don't fully get it. Now I'm like, oh, like I should have done this like 2 years ago.
Yeah. And I remember our chats and the group coaching calls and yeah, I remember us like breaking through that, like, because it
Yeah.
felt like a wall in front of you. It was just kind of like stop, and we had to chip away at it a little
Oh yeah,
bit.
I kept fighting it. I was like, but no
Yeah,
one's gonna do it like me. And then I
yeah,
was
yeah,
and you're like, but why? And I was like, because no one's me. And yeah, I was like, Sarah, that's just how it is. And you're like, no. I
yeah,
was like, okay, yeah, no, you're right.
yeah. We had a whole like coaching moment around that, which
Yeah.
was awesome, and I love that. I love those. I love the group coaching calls so much because it's like whether you're getting coached on a hot seat or you're listening in on someone else getting
Yeah.
coached, it's like, oh, wait, that person talking about that with Sarah just gave me this biggest realization. Oh, I didn't realize I was doing that too, or like I could do it this way. I love those. And then we stay connected as a community, which is
Yeah.
like, being a photographer can be so lonely. Like,
Oh, it can be. I mean, I'm super grateful for like the community we have here, at least in Niagara. Like we're
yeah,
all like best friends.
yeah,
And we help each other out, but like it definitely can be lonely. Like if you don't even make the effort to like have those friends, because like they're the
yeah.
ones that are gonna relate to what you're going through and like help.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, let's take it back to even your first experience because I know you mentioned that the first VA that you hired wasn't like the experience that you wanted, and so you
Yeah.
had to like pivot. So let's talk more about that of like what you experienced through that and what kept you motivated to not give up on the process and still trust the process and still be like, you know what? I'm going to trust Sarah. I know this works. I see other people doing it. I see Sarah doing it. Let me just find someone else. Like,
Yeah.
talk us through that story.
Yeah. So I mean, I like was fully following your course, like doing like the whole like what was the site? The site to hire them on, the
Yeah.
online jobs.
Yeah.
Um, the whole like screening process, everything. And like she seemed so great. Like when I hired her, I was like, this is perfect. And it was good for like a couple days. And then it was just like lack of communication. Things were constantly late. And I was like, okay, like I need these. And like I was
Hmm.
very clear from the beginning on like my expectations, like what I needed. Like, and even with my new VA, like she'll be like, hey, like I'm just sick today. And I'm like, no worries, like thanks for updating me. Like
Yes.
so I wasn't getting anything for like I wouldn't hear from her in days. It was just like a really frustrating process. And it was also in the summer. And I was like, oh God, like this is like busy season. And
Yeah.
eventually it was almost causing me more stress because I
Hmm.
like felt like I had to like I almost had another job now is to like take care of someone else.
Yeah.
So eventually I did let her go. I think it was like only like I only had her for like a month. Um
Hmm.
but I kept trusting the process because I think I was listening to a lot of your podcast episodes and I was like, okay, this is clearly working for other people and yourself.
Hmm.
I was like, I know this works. Like it was just not that one. So I like logged back into the site, did it again. And then I found Joanna, who I still have today. I've had her for I think like 13 months now, 14 months. And
Yeah.
love her. And right from the beginning, like she was like so good at communicating, like anything, like was going above and beyond. And I was like, okay, it works. It just like everything, it's a learning experience and it might not be perfect the first time, but it doesn't mean it's not gonna work
Oh,
later.
I love you for sharing that because I have it. You know how sometimes we go through shit that's hard in life just so that we can even just pass on the lesson to someone else. And it's like giving them that gift, or even like I feel like that's what's happening now. Because I know someone is listening to this where like, I tried it, didn't work.
Mm.
For you to have gone through that, actually, like you embodied the experience, you know how shitty it feels, you moved through it by not giving up. That gives someone else the motivation and hope that the same can be done for them. But also, I wonder how it sometimes when we try to up level in our life and business, the universe just throws us a little like speed bump, like, are you actually going to do it though? Let me test you. Let me see how
Yeah,
serious you are about making a change, right? Because it's like if you just give up, then the universe will be like, oh, yeah, I thought so. But if you're like, no, like I'm not going to give up in this circumstance or in adversity, I'm going to get up and try again. It just builds that character, that resilience within us. And don't you feel like even in a way now, in retrospect, do you feel more resilient to navigate a scenario in the future if, you need to find a different person or, things just, you're like, okay, I'll just rehire. I know
yeah,
it temporary, like, okay, maybe a month of like retraining, whatever, but then long term, new great
yeah.
person.
Well, and especially like it did, I mean, I think I did a fairly good job at like voicing, like, what I would need and everything, but it did make me, like, after she didn't work out, I was like, "Okay, what do I have to do better to
Mm,
maybe, like, voice my expectations?" Or, like, how can I go about this a little bit differently just, like, to make sure it isn't me that was the
great quality questions. That's
yeah.
amazing.
So,
Yeah.
that was, like I was just even more clear
Yeah.
before I hired Joanne about what I needed and stuff, and was just kind of like, "This is, like yeah, this is what I need from you, this is my business," like, all that, and, like, I think it was a mix of both of us. I think I had maybe clearer expectations or was better at communicating with her, we also just clicked better, and then she also, I think, was just also, like, a very hard worker from the beginning.
Yeah. Actually, another thing that comes up for me because you mentioned that the first VA, you're like, it was in the middle of the summer. And like, so guys, this is your sign that if you want to get set up for success for your season, like the best time to like get yourself set up is like take 2 months right before your season. I say 2 to 3 months ish, like and like get these outsourcing systems in place so that when the season comes, your smart outsourcing workflows are already like
Done.
there. They're set up. You know how to work with your person. You're set up for success. And then you can market the shit out of your business. You can take on last minute bookings, extra sessions, make so much more money in the summer because
Yeah,
you're set up that way. And it's not going to take like 2 to 3 months of grinding every single day to get these set up. No, it's just a little bit a day, an hour a day, half an hour a day. That's it. Like
yeah,
not
and it's
even.
a lot I wouldn't recommend doing it the way I did it because I was being stubborn and wouldn't hire out until I was, like, drowning, then I was like, "Okay, wait, I need a VA," and then it didn't work, and then I had to, like in the middle of drowning, it's not working, now I have to hire
Yeah.
someone new, and I was just like, "Oh god." So, I would do it if I had to go back, I would have done it in, like, March, April, even
Yeah.
school,
Yeah.
to be set up. So even if the first one didn't work, I'd still have time to figure a new one out before
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. And that's why I'm like my one of my favorite times in OMI and supporting the community is the months leading up to the start of the season because we have bi-weekly coaching calls where you're like actually implementing and I'm helping you like test or like break through those like barriers that are in your way of actually like taking action and or just like problem solving. And then it's like by the time your season starts, you're all set up. You're like, holy shit, this is happening. Like, it's
yeah,
the best.
yeah.
Yeah. So learn from Nicole's mistakes
Yes,
that she
please.
did along the way. And we all have them, we all make them. And it's just part of our story and builds our character and resilience and all of that. Let me see. Let me just check my notes and see if there's anything else. I feel like we got oh yeah. Can we touch on guilt? This is
Yeah,
like a theme that I'm noticing so much. Overworked photographers feel like whether they're working, they're feeling guilty for not being out there with their loved ones or on their well-being, working out, hobbying in the sunshine, whatever. They're feeling guilty. And then if they are like, okay, fine, I have to like actually spend time with my family or whatever, they're spending time with their family, but then they're feeling guilty that they're falling behind on their work to-do list. They're like busy work cycle of stress, pretty much, right?
yeah.
So do you feel like that guilt has dissolved in some sort of way? Do you feel like you're still working through it because it was could have been a thing that's been just ingrained within us, right? How is guilt dealing like happening for you lately?
It's getting better. It's still something I'm working on.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I do think I'm a little bit of a workaholic.
Mhm.
Um, but it's definitely gotten better. I think like I just set boundaries for myself and stuck to them when that's like, okay, like you're not answering DMs past 5 p.m. Like that is like
Mhm.
you could answer the next day, but you're not answering DMs. So I just like have made rules for myself. And I've really just pushed myself to prioritize like friends and family in the evenings, when I'm not shooting, and,
Yeah.
like, just checking up on people more and, like, just putting in a conscious effort and being like, "You're okay, like, your business is not gonna crash and burn," and that's not your whole life. So I think it's just, like, yeah, learning that also life is just more than just your business, because that's something
Yeah.
I definitely had to figure out. But yeah, still working on it, but
Yeah.
we're trying to separate the 2. So, like, I have,
Yeah.
like, friend and family time and I have my work time. And it's something I've especially been on myself about lately just because I am experiencing, like, a lot of my friends, especially in the photographer world, have little ones or, like, are getting pregnant and having babies, and, like, that is something, like, I kinda plan in my, like, near future, and I'm like, "I don't want to be that parent that's just constantly at work. Um,
Mhm.
so I'm almost trying to like train myself now for the future to be like, okay,
Yeah.
like you're gonna want to spend time with your kids, you're gonna want to take time off. I want to do all these things in my own life, but like I need to figure out how to not feel guilty when I'm not working because it's gonna get a hell of a lot worse when like I have a newborn or like a little one.
Yeah.
So I
Oh
don't.
my gosh, I'm so happy you touched on that point because the way that you're thinking now and the fact that you're already thinking about this is exactly what I did. I had the foresight to make
Yeah,
sure that this was all in place before that because I had this feeling I'm like if I'm busy now, like I don't know what it's like to have a kid back then.
yeah,
I'm like, I have no idea, but I'm sure it's going to take up a lot more of my time and like I don't want to sacrifice being a business owner for then becoming I want both. I want a successful
yeah,
business and a thriving family life with peace, with abundance, all of that, right? And an abundance of time. And so I see that for you. If you're already here and you're already thinking about that, I see that for you. And let me tell you, Nicole, I get so heartbroken and emotional when I see other parent photographers and like Facebook groups being like, I'm breaking down again. I don't know how to do this. Like I'm trying to run my business, but then I'm doing everything. But then I have I'm stay-at-home mom and like there's just so much. I literally I do not understand how they can be functioning and it breaks my heart and I feel like I'm like on a mission to like help these like parent photographers because I'm so grateful that I did have this set up before I became a
yeah.
mom because
Well, it's
it
a full job
didn't
in itself to take.
yeah. Yeah. So I am so proud of you that you have that foresight. And for anyone else listening, if you are a parent photographer and you are experiencing that like drowning feeling in like your life in general with everything that comes into play, your business, family life, all of that, just know that if you are in the thick of it right now, maybe you're even crying right now listening to this, like like this isn't how it has to be, or
Yeah,
this isn't how it's going to end. This isn't just the rest of your life. Like you are so capable. Like you freaking became a parent, had no manual to how to become a parent, how to give birth, like all these things, and you did it. Like you are so capable. You've built a business from the ground up without knowing what the fuck you were doing along the way. So if you are like, outsourcing, I have no idea what the fuck to do, like where to start, it's another whole mountain. Just know you are capable. And if you want it bad enough, you can just make small shifts along the way. And especially if you take my outsourcing made easy course, everything is literally laid out step by step. So it takes out the fucking guesswork. It takes out you walking blindly into it. It just gives you the steps. And so if you are just able to be like, every week I'm going to allocate 2 hours of my week to just getting these outsourcing systems in place, your life forever is going to thank you, your family, your loved ones, your mental health, your well-being, everything. So it's not too late, you guys. It's
yeah.
never too late.
Well, that's another
Yeah.
reason I started hiring more help because like I saw, well, I know like I watched you have your baby and kind of
Mhm.
figure out your business through that. Like I remember you announcing all that and I was like, oh shit, like she's busy and successful. Like how is it like she's figuring it out? And then like my best friend who's a photographer like got pregnant last year and she was kind of like, oh shit. I was like, wait, this is eye-opening for me too, because like
Yeah.
I want the same things soon. Um, so I was like, "Hey, wait, I need to hire help now so I don't do what I did last time where I was trying to do it while it was happening." I was like, "I
Yeah.
wanna figure this all out before, like, I have babies and get married and all that."
Yeah.
Um, to the point that even, like, because we don't get maternity leave being
Yeah.
or
We have to create our own.
I, like, went to the bank and, like, put a bunch of money aside for, like, my maternity fund. That's
Yeah.
I was like, "And we're just gonna do that because like, it was
Yeah.
eye-opening to see friends go through it, and you're like, "Okay, thank you. It's gonna help me."
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. That's an
Yeah.
incredible foresight. Oh my God. I literally, we're talking about babies, and then I said foresight, and then my mind, right after I said foresight, said foreskin.
I was just gonna say,
Are you
I know that's going dirty.
like, oh, it's so funny.
As soon as you said, "Oh my god," I was like, "Oh, we're
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like I thought it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. So this has been so incredible. I'm like, I think I also just want to ask, like, actually a couple questions, I would say. So firstly, well, if you think it about outsourcing made easy, like what's like something that comes to mind that's like your favorite about it, your favorite thing about the course?
Um, I really just liked how easy it was, like, step by step. Like, it really walked you through it, and I didn't feel like I was, like, figuring out stuff on my own. Like, I was like, "You're like, go to this website, like, this is how you're gonna hire someone, this is the question you're gonna put in to, like, screen them." And
Yeah.
I was, "Okay, I'm just gonna literally follow this step by step." So, like, it was super easy, like, you can't mess it up.
Mm.
Uh, and yeah, it just, like, it gave me the push to be like, "Okay, this is possible." Like, you were doing it, other people were doing it, and it was just, like, eye-opening to see, like, this clearly works.
And would you say that like, actually, firstly, the fact that you're like, oh, I love that it was just easy. I'm like, yes, because it's called outsourcing made easy for a
Yeah,
fucking reason. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
I was like,
And
"It
would
was
you
really hard."
Yeah. Would you say that, actually investing in yourself in the program, like putting money down? Because there's a saying that my mentor, James, says. He's like, the transformation is in the transaction. Like, we need to put money down to make a commitment to ourselves and our lives that I am serious about this. This is happening. I'm putting it down. And then wouldn't you say that it just puts that like commitment into your body and like, okay, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Cause like, I remember I was, like, not nervous to put the money down, but I was like, "Okay, like, it's not cheap, like, am I gonna do this?" And I was like, "Okay, screw it, I just need this in my life, like, we're gonna do it." And as soon as I, like, paid for it, I was like, "Okay, well, now we're in it." And,
Yeah.
like, I don't know why that happened. It's so
Zoom just does these like
so weird.
random emoji floaty things. Yeah.
Um, and yeah, once I put the money down, I literally went to Staples, I printed out the PDF in a cute little book, and I had my highlighters, and then I was in it. So I absolutely
Yes.
not. Especially I'm
Amazing.
a little, like, not crazy when it comes to money, but I enjoy saving. I definitely, like, am a little, like, anal about it.
Like a
Um,
little squirrel, like squirreling it away, like kind of
yeah,
thing.
like, I'm,
Yeah.
like, I know what, like, I like having a certain amount of my bank account and stuff, so, like, when I
Yeah.
spend that money, like, I better be, like, using
Yeah.
it for a good cause.
Yeah. No, I love that. And finally, for anyone just like tuning into anyone who is listening to this and they're literally on the fence. So like, I want to join OMI. I want to join. I know that it's what I want, but I'm nervous. I'm nervous to invest in it. I'm nervous to invest in outsourcing. I am nervous just about all the unknowns or not even knowing the how to do it. What would you say to them? What words of wisdom do you have for them, for those that are feel pulled and drawn that this is the right decision for them, but are still feeling that fear pop up?
I think you just need to pull the trigger because, like, you're gonna make that investment back so fast and more, and, like, at the end of the day, like, work is not like, your job is not the end all be all, like, you need to still have a life, and, like, if you wanna grow in your business, whether it's photography or anything else, like, you can't grow if you don't make changes and, like, invest. Like, my biggest thing in my business is, like, I've invested in mentors, courses, like, everything, and there's no way I would be where I am without investing in yourself. Because like, how do you expect people to invest in you if you're not even gonna invest in you? So, I think it's just, like, do it, pull the trigger. I know it might, like, be a little scary in the moment, but it's gonna pay off either in the long run or maybe in the short term, but it's, like, so, so worth it, and it just, like, gives you your life back, I feel like, and it's gonna make you a lot happier, and your mental health is gonna thank you for it too.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much, Nicole. This was so much fun. I half the time I forgot we were podcasting. We
Same,
were
I'm
just like
wait, we're
jamming.
recording.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for like you spending this time with me, with us, with you putting together that freaking spreadsheet. I'm sad. And
That's
like
just
I'm
another Monday for me, that
yeah.
spreadsheet. I'm like,
And I'm
I was
just
like, "Not
so
everyone."
so proud of you. Like, and you're just getting started because you
Yeah,
also have your editor. You're like, talk to me in 2 weeks. Like,
yeah.
you're just gonna be saving even more time. So,
Yeah.
thank you
No, and
so much.
thank you for giving
Yeah,
me the chance to talk. Cause like, I know, like, we tried this last year, and I was like, "Hold on, no, I'm drowning." I was like, "This is not gonna be genuine, I'm not good yet." So, I
yeah.
appreciate us coming back, and, yeah, you giving me the chance to chat, and I mean, you've been such a huge help in my business, literally from the beginning, without you even probably knowing it, but I've literally taken, like, all your courses, and it's been a huge game changer in my business.
Oh, I appreciate that. And lastly, where can everyone connect with you, find you? What's your IG? All of
Yeah.
that.
So my IG is Nicole Lynn underscore photography, and then Lynn is Lynne. I know a lot of people forget the E.
Yeah.
Um, My boudoir page is Nicole_Lynn_boudoir. I think I need to post more on TikTok. I think my TikTok's the exact same. Let me just check here.
That's okay.
It's my TikTok is Nicole Lynn Photography. It's like
Yeah.
no underscores or anything.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm mostly active on Instagram, and I'm
Amazing.
gonna get back to Reels soon, so that's gonna keep me accountable. That
Yeah,
I said,
that's fun. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, we'll link everything in the show notes for easy access for you guys. And yeah, thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank you. It's nice chatting.
Oh my gosh, how freaking inspiring was that episode? So, before you go, this is just your reminder to sign up for the masterclass. I host this once a year, it's absolutely free. And you're going to be learning the 4 secrets to becoming a time and income abundant photographer. And just to refresh your memory, in this class, I'm going to be sharing the most up to date industry stats, transparent numbers from my own business, like literally how much time I save through outsourcing, how much I invest through outsourcing, how much I spend, and literally working right now pricing guidance so you know exactly how much outsourcing will be costing you. And it's the most affordable it's ever been in my 9-year outsourcing journey. So this is like really up to date information that I think every photographer needs to know. So go to the link in the show notes, get registered for the class. Or you can just DM me on Instagram at Sarah Monica Photo. DM me the word masterclass or the word secrets, whichever one, and you're going to get the registration link sent to you right away. And I can't wait to see you in class. All right, bye. Yay! Thank you so much for hanging out with me and tuning into this episode. If you got value out of it, please feel free to message me on Instagram at Sarah Monica Photo. That's Sarah no H, Monica with a K, photo, to let me know. I get so freaking energized hearing from others that what I've said has had a positive impact on their lives. Also, make sure to hit subscribe to the Shine and Thrive podcast to never miss an episode. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm sending you all the productive vibes your way so you have the best week ever.